Welcome to the 1 o'clock show. Let's have a cheers. It is Friday. It is 6 o'clock, our new time. Cheers, cheers. So, Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
The interviewer becomes the interviewee
I
today.
feel slightly nervous.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what it feels like.
Did you want to swap places?
Yeah.
You know? Just take over the show this week. Tell us a little bit about what you do with Scoopla and the Loop.
Well, so I'm a red carpet reporter. Lucky for me, I get to interview celebrities for a living. People always ask me who is the most amazing celebrity you've ever interviewed.
I'll just cross that one off.
Yeah, cross that one off your list. I'm now asking the questions. I always say, you know what, it's a really tough question to ask because I'm like, who do you like? But I have interviewed some pretty incredible people in my career. I've been doing it for about 10 years now, mostly for radio, but recently started doing a bit of TV work for the music show The Loop on Channel 11. And I do a music gossip segment on that show. So, you know, suits me down to the ground. I try and fit in as many Kardashian references and they're like, how is that music? And I'm like, well, she's married to Kanye West. So, you know. But the answer to that question, I guess, would be Angelina Jolie. She would be, I've interviewed both her and Brad Pitt, and I remember interviewing her and just, it was like angels started to sing when she stepped up to me. It was like, oh.
Did you lose all train? Did you get totally starstruck?
It's probably the one time I was actually nervous interviewing a celebrity.
She was bathed in a golden light.
She literally was. And do you know what? She was so normal. And so, very striking looking and barely wore any makeup. You could see her beautiful skin and her features. But the thing with Angelina is that she was so engaged in our conversation and she listened to me and she laughed at my stupid jokes, which was just amazing. And she was so normal, even though she's one of the biggest stars in the world. It was quite an experience. So that's what I do for a job.
Emma, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for
joining
having
us
me.
here in gorgeous Sydney today. I've brought the weather with me.
Yeah,
so
thanks. Cheers for that.
Thanks
awesome.
for that. Tell us all about, you're playing Tracy Dennis on 800 Words this season and for the last 2 seasons, and we've just wrapped. Tell us a little bit about what's happening now that you're not on 800 Words.
Oh, well, we've been having some get-togethers with some of the cast to watch the show. We had the double episode season finale. Well, there's more episodes coming, but for now, the other night. So that was really, really fun. And yeah, just adjusting back to Sydney life after being in New Zealand for about 7 months this year. It's kind of a second home now.
Did you pick up an accent?
I did.
Give us your best New Zealand accent.
I picked up a bit of an accent, and
so
it's getting me into a lot of trouble.
You said the word jandals, I'm walking out of this.
And a wee bit. And I did a lot of amazing research on New Zealand wines while I was over there.
Oh, good.
Just particularly what they taste like.
How many you can have?
How many? Yeah.
Oh, this is not a New Zealand
I don't think so. We're drinking each other.
That's right. Oh, it's delicious. Yeah.
So we're talking off camera just before about, you opened, I think, 800 Words this season, Starkers on the Beach.
Last season? Season 1. My very first scene as Tracy.
I forget.
Yeah,
which is just naked.
Which one? Exactly. There was a few, but yeah, definitely the first time my character Tracy appears on 800 Words is on the nude beach, and Eric Thompson's character George is quite taken aback and doesn't really know where to look. It's quite funny. Yeah.
How awkward was that?
It's quite awkward. Well, it's a little nerve-wracking filming those things, but they do have a lot of red wine and Xanax on set. And I've got my life coach, my therapist on standby, so I'm very looked after.
And Justin, you did a bit of a nudie.
I did.
Yeah, tell us a little
I'm not as confident as you were about it. I was like, do you know what? I agreed to do it. It was for a wonderful cause for my people, my tribe in Sydney, and it was about, I guess, learning people's stories and stripping away literally everything. So no clothes, no nothing, and you kind of told a story about yourself. So it was a very honest shoot, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I work really hard. My history is I used to be 140 kilos, and so I live at the gym. I'm there 6 days a week, and I take good care of myself and eat properly. And I was like, it's a great incentive. It's a couple of weeks away. I'm feeling okay, and then afterwards I was like, oh my God, what have I done?
Oh no!
I was like, actually, because I thought, I could strategically have a lovely shirt or something draped across the bits that I don't like, and they were like, oh no, it has to be completely naked. And I was like, as in completely naked, and they're like, yeah, totally, you can't have anything on you. And so for weeks I was like, practicing my pose. I was like, how the hell am I going to stand? I was like, can I just scrunch in a ball? I was like, maybe that would work. But it was very liberating, and I did a little vlog on it and got a little bit emotional unexpectedly because, you know, coming from being an incredibly overweight person and being very body conscious and still being very body conscious, it was a real eye-opener for me. And I just, you know, and it was such an amazing shoot, and there was only the photographer and one other person there. There was no beach and no joggers, thank God. But for me, it was like...
No sand in your bits.
Oh, no. How did you go with that?
Well, we have like modesty and things, so we're not completely, you know...
no modesty for me. It was literally just like, drop the robe and off you go.
But you do feel a bit, there is a sort of sense of liberation that comes with, I think, not hiding something that really, at the end of the day, we all natural.
Have those bits.
Yeah, and so for some reason, when you do kind of let go in that way, it is sort of liberating.
Yeah.
And then you wake up in the night and go, what have I done?
Yeah.
Well, that leads us to our topic 1 this morning, where a Port Macquarie man, he was a manager, I think, of an insurance company, and was fired because he was downloading like hardcore porn onto office computers and storing his own sex tapes on computers, and he was fired. And he actually went to the Fair Work Australia and appealed and won $10,000.
See, I don't know if that's worth 10 grand.
Do you agree?
Do you think you should have got more?
Yeah, well, I just think that whole... Okay, for starters, I think if it's a work computer, you are a fool to be doing stuff like that. And I don't understand how it didn't break any of the...
Well, apparently it wasn't in their policies.
Then they're probably even
See, I think it's very negligent of the employer not to provide their employees with a separate hard drive on which to store their sex tapes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not fair.
Oh, she went straight for the terabyte one. Jeez, what kind of porn are you downloading? And how much?
We also saw this week, and Justin, you're probably going to be all over this, was
I'm ready.
Kim Kardashian being robbed in the Paris hotel, $14 million worth of jewellery, held, bound and gagged. Now, there has been huge, one, supporters saying, my God, that's tragic and really sad, and that must have been awful for her. But 2, on the other hand, people saying it was staged, you know, it was an inside job, they did it for publicity. You obviously have a huge...
Well, firstly, I just want to check where my wallet is. Is it too early to make jokes?
No.
Oh, gosh, you know, this is all I've talked about all this week. So Friday's like a perfect moment to wrap it all up. But it feels like the story is changing every single day. I have met Kim, and people are always asking me about my experience with Kim. Firstly, I'll say she's very beautiful in real life, but she's... And this is totally off topic, but she's painted for camera, that woman. Like, I remember, so I was like this close to her, and I just remember looking at her and like looking at her face, and you know, back then she was like the queen of the contour, and it was literally like someone had painted a different face on her, and I just remember thinking, wow, that's so aggressive in real life. Then we had her photo taken, and I look like a potato. And she looks amazing. So, you know, I love that family, and I just think the fact that they are famous for being famous is something that I admire, and I think that they literally take every business opportunity. So I'm not surprised a lot of people think that this is a publicity stunt.
What's your take, Emma, on this whole Kardashian debacle?
I read that Kanye had to stop his concert midway through, drop the mic and leave. And my theory is this. You know, like when I was in high school, I used to get my boyfriend to call in sick to the cafe that I worked at for me and say she's in hospital. I think Kanye had enough of his tour. He didn't want to go to Detroit. He was sick and tired, and Kim was like, babe, I got this. And she organised the heist, so he had to leave work. It's just, that's the world they live in, you know?
It's slightly different from you getting your boyfriend to call up. I mean, I see
but it's
on
their
the same
equivalent,
page.
because they're Kim and Kanye live in this, you know,
Right.
as you said, they live in a crazy world. It's just extremes for them.
Another thing that's come out this week, so the secret's out of the bag. Apparently, there's a new survey that's out that parents actually do have a fauvorite child.
Well, don't I know that?
And it's not the youngest, apparently. It's now the oldest. Yeah.
We're both like, can't help
How many siblings
you.
have you got?
I've got one elder sister.
Yes. Oh, well, apparently she's the favourite.
Apparently, I think her and I would both agree that the other one is the favourite because
Right.
we're both actresses, so I think we both feel entitled to as much attention as possible. So
No.
it's interesting to see how I don't have children, but talking to people that do have little ones, how the eldest one reacts when they find out that there's another sibling coming.
Yeah.
They either get really excited or defensive or angry or upset, and then that dynamic I think is really cute.
Have you seen though? There's been, I think, YouTube clips where there's a girl and she is just hysterical because she's just found out her mother's having another
Yeah.
baby and like upset, like
Yeah.
I'm not.
How could you do this to me? Whereas those kids that are like excited about it, it's super cute. And you're just like, oh, you're going to be the best brother or sister. Oh.
Do you find though with your sister that your mum was like really hard on her and like, no, you're not going to parties, but then now with you, she's like, yeah, go for it.
Well, she really kind of pushed the boundaries. She had all the parties in high school. She had sort of, and I would just kind of ride her coattails. She was pretty cool in high school, so she just kind of pushed all the boundaries, and then I kind of.
You come up looking like roses.
Yeah, true. So maybe it is harder for the elder sibling.
Okay, so it is that time of the day that we love so much here on the Wine O'Clock Show, and it is Never Have I Ever.
Oh,
have you played?
I think I better
yeah,
have
you
another
need
sip of
wine
my
for this
wine.
one. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you have to say whether obviously you have or you have never, and if you've got a really cool story to go along with it. We do like to hear that as well. Bit of fun. All right, so never have I ever played strip poker. Really? I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know.
High school,
I think it's because I can't play cards.
I was going
I
to
can
say,
get naked, though.
I think I tried in high school, but I don't think we really knew how to play poker.
Yeah.
So
Did you go all the way, full Monty?
no, it was high school, but we
Yeah.
tried. Gave it a red hot go.
Never have I ever smoked a joint.
You have.
I went to California.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
I went to an alternative high school.
Yes. Well, I think most of us in high school dabbled in that.
I felt your judgy looks then, by the way, when I went like that.
Yeah,
you two
I'm
were
like,
like
yeah,
this.
whatever. Yes, lie.
Yeah.
Never have I ever said a baby was cute when it was actually wasn't. I have all the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Some of them just aren't cute.
Yeah.
I don't think they get cute until like at least 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I actually made, I'll tell you this really bad story. I actually said
you
to a
make the baby
celebrity
cry?
once, no, I actually likened a child to a dog.
Yeah.
Because I said to this person, I was like, we were talking about Angelina and Brad, and I was saying how, they have so many beautiful children all over the world. And I was like, imagine if you could like pick your baby like you pick a puppy. Like you go and you're like, oh, that one's like, got
So
cute.
cute.
It's got cute fur and it's like adorable. And then
If
they
the
were-
baby's got fur, that's a bad thing. Don't pick that one.
Oh, they were horrified that I likened picking a baby
To a puppy.
like picking a puppy. And I was
Oh,
like,
get over it.
Yeah.
It's a figure of speech.
some kids are just not cute.
Never have I ever put someone's hand in warm water to see if they pee.
No, I've never done that.
I don't think I've ever done that either.
No, but my daughter said that she wanted to do that to her brother the other day, and I went, no.
That's a very old school kind of prank, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like there are more
I think it's
exciting
more that
things
they
you could
hear
do.
about it and they go, wonder if it's actually true.
Does it actually work?
Yeah, this is before social media and iPhones. People had to find a way
Yeah,
to
yeah,
entertain
entertain
themselves.
Right? Although these days they'd be setting up cameras everywhere to, film them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
Never have I ever sent a nude photo or raunchy text to the wrong person.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, no, I've done that.
Can I finish my
Yeah,
sentence first?
yeah,
Have
no, I
you?
have, actually, yeah. And do you know what? It was a Snapchat.
Oh!
Yeah.
bastard,
And we
dude.
still joke about it. And it was really
Who did you
naughty.
send it to?
It was to a friend of mine and
Who was it supposed to be sent to?
oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Generic 101, like back when I was single. Yeah, it was so awkward. And I tried to cover it up and she was like, that wasn't for me. And I was like, hello.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
Have you?
anyway.
No, never. No.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Leave me out to dry.
Yeah.
I've had one sent to me. It was an ex-employee.
What?
Yeah,
As in ex
accidentally.
at the now or ex at the time?
Ex-employee. No, she's now not.
Or
wasn't
did she
at the
get
time.
fired for that?
And the porn on her computer.
Yeah. And the
You're
porn
like,
on her computer.
here's the 1 terabyte. memory
Have your hard drive
Yeah.
back and nick off.
Yeah. Hard drive. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry.
Last one. Never have I ever gone commando.
Oh, probably.
Yeah,
All the
I'm
time.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
like wearing Ugg boots to shops, isn't it? Everyone does it, no one talks about it. I'm sure.
I do. One thing I hate is I hate wearing a bra. Like, so that's the first thing that goes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I can relate because the first thing I do when I get home is I have to get my clothes off from the day.
Yeah.
I'm just like off me
Yep.
into something comfortable, so I can relate.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
think
it's
I've
just
run
like
out of
that.
clean undies once or twice. I've just been like, oh, well,
No underwear today. No
Yep.
undie Sunday.
definitely not going to do the washing.
Do you find I like this is like what you were saying about as you get older, you tend to like care less. I find I'm caring more as I'm getting older.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm like I must have underwear on. more conscious about.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, well, they're just I don't know. I just when you get to that moment where you think, should I put underwear on? It's always yes these days.
Really?
Yeah.
But don't usually boys a bit free balling and let it all
Not
go?
me. I think I'm too uptight. I'm too
need that
high
security
maintenance. I'm
to
too
know
like,
that,
you
yeah.
know, yeah. I'm all those typical things. So,
Excellent.
yeah, got to put
excellent.
the Calvin Kleins on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us on the show
Pleasure.
today.
Oh,
It's
they
been
were
great.
easy questions. I thought you were going to ask some really hard
I could do the
ones.
Mile High Club one if you want me to.
No, I have not, but am like. I'm going on a
You're
holiday
trying.
soon, so
Yeah,
boyfriend.
aren't you going
watch
overseas in
out.
3 weeks? Look out.
Well, yeah, I have not, but I'm open to it. You know?
How do people even do it? You know what? Whenever I travel on a plane, I always think to myself, how would you do it? I just think it's too difficult. There are too many staff around. There are too many people watching.
And
it's
they're
too quiet.
small. They're getting smaller, those
They're getting
toilets. They
smaller.
definitely are shrinking.
I saw a football player was like kicked off, or he was like suspended for having sex with his girlfriend. I think it was in an airport toilet.
Oh.
And I was just like, I'm sure
Did
someone.
they use their own bacterial spray?
Oh.
And what are you up to before we go? What are you up to now that you're not on 800 Words this season or season's wrapped? Are you back over to New Zealand to do season 3?
Well, we hope so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We don't know yet, but there's more episodes coming in 2017, and fingers crossed we will get another season. It was left on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
It was.
Yeah, hopefully we'll go back. But I'd love to go back to New Zealand because I've got lots of friends over there now, and it's
Gotta say it
So much
in your
wine.
Kiwi accent.
oh, you've got lots of friends over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So a little bit of travel coming up for me, I think, later on in the year, and some other projects, some indie film projects.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Justin?
Oh, you know what? If there's an opening of an envelope, I will be there.
Great.
Just for me, my job is so, I have so many things going on at all the time, and then all of a sudden I have a crazy week where all these celebrities decide to come to Australia. So hopefully a lot more of that, doing some more work with Channel 10 and getting on some morning shows and stuff like that. So yeah, never a dull moment when it comes to me. Always
Great.
got outfits to pick out and bow ties to.
I know, I love your bow tie.
To wear.
Isn't it
Thank
gorgeous?
you.
Wooden?
It's made of wood.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So cheers. Have a great weekend,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having
You
us
too.
on the
Happy
show.
Friday.
Happy Friday.
Thanks for having us.